To an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Carolina Panthers. This is fielded at the goal line. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Mike 53. And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. He's checking. He's 22. Check. Over. 22. Shut up.
Throwing to start the drive. Love. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. I'm not sure exactly what they had planned for play number 1 from scrimmage, but I can guarantee it wasn't that interception.
No doubt about that one, because in their daydream, this was going to be a dream play to get things started. Instead, it turned into a nightmare for them.
On the ground, this is Johnson. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Not the way they wanted to begin things. You had the interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to 3 points.
And remember our conversation with him prior to the ball game? He said they had something special designed for the first play. It didn't hit. Let's see if he can rebound from it and not let it get him down.
The first down screen pass, good for 5. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Watch QB drop.
2nd and 5. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. So on fourth down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's more on the return. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 23 yards on the play. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around... That one good for 37 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check. You draw corporate.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
60 out long.
They'll try to run with Carson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. 3-0 after 1 on EA. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for a loss.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Love completes it to the tight end, Kittle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Love. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a 1st down. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Let's go, D. 51 to mine. 51. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Looking to throw on second down. Love. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10.
You don't want this. Check that screen.
Off play action. Love. Flush to it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Trey Flowers racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Panthers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be third and a mile. From the gun, Love. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Johnson, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Now back to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's McCaffrey. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A nice gain of 21 yards. Throwing on 1st down. Love. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Deshaun Hand able to record his 5th sack of the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now with toss, this is McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They don't want to repeat a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the 1st quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 44-yard line. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll look to throw here. Sideline throw, that's caught by Moore. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 1st down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Dontari Poe marches in for the sack. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun. Love. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun. Love. To the right side, and he's got more, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Operating from the gun. Love. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
60 outlaw. Hey, shoot. Shoot.
They'll drop the throw. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. 1st down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And finally down at the 9-yard line.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the 3rd and then carry that over to the 4th.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
They'll roll him out right. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 6. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing on 3rd and long. Love. And that is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
On 4th down, Love. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a 1st down. Back to throw. Love. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 13-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. Oh, no, he lost the football.
I'm plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. McCaffrey. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll rifle this one deep right side. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game. To throw on 2nd down. Love. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And this one is right through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect.
59 mark, 59 mark. Check, 59. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
He's back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Moore. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. Oh, he slipped right by him. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he stopped immediately there. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Off the play fake. Love. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Trey Flowers, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Carolina, they finish off the season with a victory, which is the good news. The bad news is that it'll wrap up a...
Okay, 30,000, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view, hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the errands need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10. Hey.